It took me more than 50 years to understand something that I'm about to tell you in the next 10 minutes. If someone had sat beside me when I was 27 and simply said, "Daniel, slow down," my entire life might have unfolded differently. Instead, I spent decades chasing success, believing the next achievement would finally bring peace. It never did. Now, I'm 77, and old age has given me one gift youth never could: the courage to admit where I was wrong. If your heart has been carrying a weight nobody else can see, where in the world are you watching from today? For most of my life, I believed that working harder was the answer. When I was a little boy, our family didn't have much. We never went hungry, but money always seemed to disappear faster than it arrived. I still remember lying awake some nights, hearing my parents whisper behind their bedroom door after they thought I was asleep, "We'll pay that bill next month. Maybe the car can wait a little longer." Their voices were never angry, just tired. As children, we don't fully understand those conversations, but somehow they leave fingerprints on our hearts. Without realizing it, I made a promise to myself. When I grow up, nobody I love will ever have to worry about money again. Looking back now, I don't regret making that promise. It came from love. I would probably make it again. But hidden beneath that beautiful promise was another one I never noticed until decades later. I quietly decided that my value would be measured by what I achieved. I never said those words out loud. I didn't have to. They became the engine behind every decision I made. I studied harder, worked longer, accepted responsibilities other people avoided. If everyone else stayed until 5, I'd stay until 7. If they arrived at 8, I'd arrive before sunrise. People called me disciplined, dedicated, reliable. Those compliments felt wonderful for a little while. Every achievement gave me a small rush of satisfaction. Then it faded. I convinced myself I simply needed a bigger achievement, a better title, a larger paycheck, a nicer house, a little more respect. Surely that would finally make me feel complete. It never lasted. The strange thing about chasing success is that the finish line has a habit of moving. The moment you reach one goal, another quietly appears. Nobody warns you that success can become a treadmill. You keep running. You're moving faster every year, yet somehow you never feel like you've truly arrived. At the time, I thought that feeling was normal. I thought everyone lived with that constant pressure to become just a little more. Only much later did I realize I wasn't chasing success anymore. I was chasing the feeling I hoped success would finally give me. Those are two completely different things. One afternoon, after receiving another promotion, everyone gathered around my desk to congratulate me. There were smiles, handshakes, a framed certificate. Someone even brought cake. I remember driving home thinking, this is it. I finally made it. By the following Monday, life had already returned to normal. The congratulations stopped. The phone kept ringing. The deadlines returned. The excitement disappeared almost as quickly as it had arrived. That was the pattern. Every victory became shorter than the one before it. Every milestone lost its shine a little faster. And without realizing it, I had started building my entire identity around a finish line that refused to stay still. I didn't know it then, but that quiet belief would cost me far more than time. It would slowly begin stealing the moments I could never earn back. For years, I convinced myself that I was building a better future. Every sacrifice felt temporary, every missed birthday, every canceled vacation, every promise of next time sounded reasonable. I kept telling myself that one day everything would slow down, but one day has a strange habit of never arriving. Then something happened that quietly changed the way I looked at my entire life. A close friend retired after working for nearly 45 years. He had planned every detail. He had enough money, a beautiful home, healthy investments, a long list of places he wanted to visit. He smiled on his last day at work. Everyone congratulated him. 6 months later, he called me. His voice sounded different, not sad, just empty. He said, "Daniel, I don't know who I am anymore." Those words stayed with me because I realized something frightening. He hadn't spent decades building a life. He had spent decades building a career, and somewhere along the way, he accidentally confused the two. That thought wouldn't leave me alone. I began looking at my own life with uncomfortable honesty. If someone removed my job, who was I? Not my title, not my income, not the respect people gave me, just me. The answer wasn't as clear as I wanted it to be. That's when I understood the biggest trap I had ever fallen into. Success had quietly become my identity, not something I did, something I believed I was. And that's a dangerous place to live. Because if your identity depends on achievement, you'll never truly feel safe. There will always be another mountain, another goal, another comparison, another reason to believe you haven't done enough. If you made it this far, can I ask you something? Where in the world are you watching from today? I always enjoy reading where these conversations are reaching people. And if these reflections help you slow down, even for a few minutes, I'd love for you to subscribe and join me for the next conversation. We still have something important to uncover together. After my friend's phone call, I started paying attention to the people I admired most. Oddly enough, the happiest people I met weren't always the richest. They weren't always the most successful either. But they all seemed to share one quiet habit. When they were with someone, they were actually there. No checking the clock, no thinking about tomorrow's meeting, no mentally solving tomorrow's problems. They listened, they laughed, they noticed. It sounded so simple, yet it felt almost impossible for someone like me. Because my mind had been trained to live in the future for more than 50 years. I had forgotten how to simply exist inside one ordinary afternoon, and that realization hurt more than I expected, because I suddenly understood something I wish someone had told me when I was young. The opposite of success isn't failure. Sometimes the opposite of success is missing the life that's happening while you're busy trying to create a better one. The opposite of success isn't failure. Sometimes the opposite of success is missing the life that's happening while you're busy trying to create a better one. I wish I could tell you that realizing this changed me overnight. It didn't. Habits built over 50 years don't disappear because of one difficult conversation. Even after I recognized what I had been chasing, I still caught myself slipping back into the same old race. I'd whisper, "Just one more project. Just one more year. Then I'll slow down." That voice is remarkably patient. It never argues. It never shouts. It simply waits for you to become tired enough to believe it again. One quiet Sunday afternoon, my wife and I were sitting on the back porch after lunch. We weren't discussing anything important. The flowers she wanted to plant, the neighbors across the road, the weather, ordinary things. Then she laughed, not loudly, just one small, genuine laugh. For reasons I still can't completely explain, I actually noticed it. Years earlier, my body would have been sitting beside her while my mind was already inside Monday morning, thinking about meetings, deadlines, emails, problems waiting for me at the office. But that afternoon, I was completely there. I watched the breeze move through her hair. I listened to birds singing somewhere beyond the trees. I noticed the warmth of the sun resting across the porch floor. Nothing extraordinary happened, and maybe that's exactly why I remember it so clearly. Because for the first time in years, life wasn't waiting for me somewhere in the future. It was unfolding right in front of me. That small afternoon quietly broke something inside me. Or perhaps it healed something. I suddenly realized how many ordinary moments I had traded away while searching for extraordinary ones. The promotions, the bonuses, the recognition. I can barely remember most of them now. But that Sunday afternoon, I remember almost every detail. Isn't that strange? We spend our youth chasing the moments we think we'll remember forever, only to discover that the moments that stay with us are usually the quiet ones. A shared cup of coffee, a conversation that lasts longer than expected, someone reaching for your hand without saying a word. Those moments don't ask whether you're successful. They only ask whether you're present. If you're listening to me today, maybe take just a second and ask yourself one honest question. When was the last time you were completely present with someone you love? Not half listening, not checking your phone, not thinking about tomorrow, just there. Because one day, you'll never wish you had answered one more email. You'll wish you had looked up more often. You don't need to give up your dreams. You don't need to stop working hard. I certainly wouldn't tell you to do that. Dreams matter, responsibility matters, providing for your family matters, but somewhere along the way, don't forget to live the very life you're working so hard to build. It took me more than 50 years to understand that. My hope is that it won't take you nearly as long. If this conversation touched something in your heart, tell me, what are you going to stop postponing after today? I'd genuinely love to read your answer. And if you'd like another honest conversation from an old man who's learned most of his lessons a little too late, I'll be here when you're ready.